For almost 30 years and through 5 generations, the BMW M3 has been an icon. Now comes this all-new 6th generation model. Now, if the drive is as large as these grilles, life promises to be pretty sweet. The appeal of the new M3 starts with what's under the hood. The 3-litre inline-6 has 2 turbochargers. When both are blowing full gale, the engine makes 473 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque at 2,650 RPM. It drives the rear wheels through a 6-speed manual gearbox, which sadly is a dying feature. The gearbox has a light clutch, a perfect bite point, and the shifter snicks through the gears with ease. It's also smart. The rev matching ensures seamless downshifts when heading into a corner under hard braking. It drives the rear wheels through BMW's Active M differential. It works beautifully and gets the power down with authority. The alternative is the M3 Competition. The same engine now produces 503 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque and drives the rear wheels through an 8-speed automatic with an instant-on manual mode and paddle shifters. Later this summer, the Competition will be offered with an M-tuned version of BMW's xDrive all-wheel drive. The added traction promises to bring an even more aggressive turn of speed. Now, this BMW M3 will get you to 100k in 4.2 seconds. The Competition drops that to 3.9. But that really only tells part of the story. The real story, this engine catches fire through the mid-range. It really does produce an adrenaline rush. It's almost as sweet as the song those oversized tailpipes sing. The mid-range proof comes when you bang the gearbox into 3rd gear at 80 kilometers an hour and nail the gas. The speedo sweeps through 120k in 3.4 seconds, and it just keeps pulling until the driver is forced to lift for fear of an unwanted chat with the boys in blue. The handling is, in a word, superb thanks to the electronically controlled adaptive M suspension. As the driver works through Comfort, Sport and Sport Plus settings, the damping progressively tightens, which reduces body roll to basically nothing. In Comfort mode, the M3 delivers great straight-line stability and a quick turn-in response. Sport then sharpens the steering feel and the speed at which it turns in. The tenacity of the handling is helped enormously by the low centre of gravity, a 50-50 weight distribution, and the oversized tyres. When you really push this M3 into a corner, you expect the front end to understeer. It just doesn't seem to do that. And when you get on the gas too aggressively at the exit of the corner, the tail will wag. The good news is it's now progressive with much less snap. That means that the pucker factor of old, it's gone. Inside, the M3 is all 3 series, but with 2 superb front seats and 2 important buttons, the red M1 and M2 on the steering wheel. Here, the driver can set the engine, suspension and steering in sport mode and store that in the M1 position. One touch and you're ready for a sportier drive. Dial everything up to insane and store that in M2. Now, when it's time to let things really rip, the M3 roars. Finally, you have the option of controlling the intervention point of the stability control system through 10 different stages. The range runs from a full-on safety net to a let-it-all-hang-out mode that activates the drift analyzer. Yes, this car actually rates your ability to hold a long, lurid drift. Mercifully, the M brakes with 6-piston calipers scrub off gobs of speed without fading into oblivion. Now, this new M3 is an utter delight to drive. It is blindingly fast, and the tenacity through a corner is mind-numbing. Yes, it likes to wag its tail if you're not careful, but the good news is you can bring it back in very easily. That is going to leave a very big smile on my face for a long time to come.
So here's the question, where were you 32 years ago? I know some of you weren't even a glint in your father's eye. As for me, well, I was in diapers but found time to get Motoring TV off the ground. And today I like to think we've got one of the best automotive video libraries in the world. If you agree, please give us the thumbs up and also subscribe. We'd really appreciate it.